All right, welcome to week 5 of Murders at Karlov Manor. We got our feature matches here after taking a week off, unfortunately. We are back with a full slate tonight, and we got an exciting one here to start. We got Matthias, who's one of our newer players in his second league, in first place currently, and he's going to be playing our feature match GOAT here, Caleb. What's going on in his hand over there, Raphael?
Lands, buddy. Lots of lands. It seems there's some islands, some forest, a swamp, another forest drawn for turn, and then he's got the public thoroughfare, and then an analyze the pollen and a undercover crocodile.
That
What's
does that doesn't sound
highest?
like a very good hand. It sounds like
It
a lot of
doesn't
land
sound like
cards.
a winnable hand, but we'll see what happens.
All right, so we got a teamer deck here, which is a little color starved here at the beginning. He's got just the 3 mountains and another mountain drawn. Nervous Gardener is the face down card. He's playing his Galvanize. He's got a Topiary Panther, a Projector Inspector, and then a rare that he has 3 copies of in his deck, as he's told me, is the Ill-Timed Explosion. So if he gets his
Might come in
colors
handy.
together, a green will open up his blue as well, and even a blue will allow him to play Projector Inspector and dig. And here comes the green. So looks like the rocky mana is gonna be solved here.
Yeah, I would assume that that explosion might be good in about a turn or two. Caleb did draw and a Trotta about a turn ago,
Ooh, okay.
so
Yeah,
I would think you want that going.
yeah. I know Caleb's playing a like a salt die sort of just good stuff deck. We saw him a couple weeks back playing. I think it was the same deck. He started off with a different deck when we saw him week 1, but last time we saw him, he was playing something like this, and he's doing well. He's in the top 8 as he usually is. But Matthias is number 1 right now. He's on quite the run, 19-5. I believe he was 5-0 last week, and now 4-0 this week. So he is climbing up the standings real fast here in his second league. So interesting
Plus,
that Matthias just decided to not use his Panther and just like basically not get to do anything last turn. But he's just going to use the ill-time explosion here. He says, "I'm not going to be greedy. I see a Trata. I kill a Trata. I don't have anything else to do."
now it's funny because Caleb drew the deadly cover up, so there's another board wipe on the opposite side of the field.
All right, so we might be in for a slog here. Matthias does have a detective satchel as well as the Topiary Panther that he had since the beginning here.
Well, let's see if this shapes up. So we're going to see an analyze the pollen, I guess, grabbing whatever bomb or
Yeah,
good card that Caleb wishes.
yeah. I know he has a lot of good stuff in there. I know one of his best cards he can't get, which is the Intrude on the Mind, because it's an instant. But I'm
Yeah,
sure I'm sure he'll find something.
there's options. I see a Kellen over here. There's a cold case cracker. Waiting to see the good stuff. Like we saw the title tear in the forest searcher. He's
Okay.
thinking about Kellen, but we're getting a little deeper into the back. We have two Lazavs. Okay.
All right. Yeah, well, it starts with your highest mana cost at the front, and then goes down as you scroll.
I've
So
never been lucky enough to play this card.
I play it plenty in draft, so I'm somewhat familiar with it. All right, here comes Kellen, a pretty good threat here. Matthias, as it stands, doesn't have anything to deal with it. He's drawn a surveillance monitor, which is, well, I mean, it's good, but does not deal with the Kellen here, and he doesn't want to be playing his detective satchel or surveillance monitor into the Kellen because it's making artifacts that can just blow up. So his other
Yeah,
choice would be to play his Topiary Panther, but that's not an option either because he doesn't have the forest. So he's kind of handcuffed here by this Kellen.
yeah. I mean, he does have bite down on crime to back it up, also. So there's
Yikes.
really no hard
Okay.
removal. I'm not sure if Caleb's going to be itching to try and block this 0-3.
Yeah, I don't know if Matthias wants to do that. Okay, so he is just going to play the 3/3. He is going to get a little 1/1 that is going to get blown up, unfortunately.
Fair. Question now is does Caleb care to kill it, or is he just going to get in?
I mean, as far as Caleb's concerned, he probably is telling himself, "Well, that surveillance monitor can make as many Thopters as it wants. I get to blow him up for absolute free, just for
Yeah, just keep
attacking."
telling him. Oof. He might kill it now. I think he's seen 3 lands or 2 lands in this turn.
Okay, so he still does have a board wipe though, right?
Yeah, it's Swamp, Island, and Board Wipe. So really, it's
All
going to be up
right.
to this Kellen to carry this game
I
as far as
mean,
possible.
until further notice, Kellen will be carrying the game. Off the top comes another surveillance monitor, which will make more fodder here.
I mean, I
Okay.
guess it's good he killed the first one then, right? Because this would be 2 Thopters now.
Yeah, the problem for Matthias, I mean, aside from the Kellen, but also the vigilance, it's stopping him from digging with his reckless detective. Like,
Yeah,
if the Kellen didn't have vigilance, it would still be doing a great job, but Matthias would be able to be getting in and attacking.
I'm surprised that he'd even try and like bluff the attack.
I mean, he'll probably do that when he's like completely out of options and about to die.
At that point, I guess it makes sense. Caleb probably won't block.
I
Well, not
mean, okay, here comes the satchel. He can use up his clues here so they don't get blown up for free. I mean, he's just doing this. He's just playing a 6 mana divination. He knows the satchel is not going to be doing much else.
long
But
for
I
this
mean,
world.
or what is it? No, an 8 mana divination. Sorry, even sadder.
So did he get anything good off the top?
He got a forest and another forest,
Oof, that's not what you want to see.
and a nervous gardener is not going to do much either here to help the cause.
Mm,
I suppose he can pick up a surveil land. Yeah, I would assume. And a land goes away, and he's got 2 turns here to figure out what to do.
That's a land heavy game one. Caleb just drew a swamp return, and the Kellen we trust.
Yeah, I mean, if you told me Kellen was going to go all the way here, I would have said, yeah, it's possible. All right, here's a galvanize. Unfortunately, his clues are gone. He has no way to draw any. Or
No,
actually, no, he has the reckless.
reckless detective, the savior we all needed.
All right,
I'm surprised he's swinging with the 2/2 though.
no, just a reckless. He's going to discard the forest. He's going to galvanize before blocks. He's drawn an ill-timed explosion too, which can clean up whatever else shows up here.
This is going to be quite the interesting game because depending on what Caleb gets, we just might see the deadly cover up come off the top.
Yeah, I could see it.
I believe we're going to see a deadly cover up.
All right, well,
Play
board wipe into board wipe into potentially another board wipe. There's a plains there.
or
Oh,
I
he's
guess it's
gonna.
trying slow roll one more turn.
All right, so this he's gonna get punished a bit by taking 2 extra damage here because there's as I like to call it, the large offender coming down. Right, so he's actually not gonna represent that morph being anything or the face down.
Interesting.
All right, so he's gonna flip it up. He could have attacked with the Nervous Gardener, but decided not to, and now we're going to see a board wipe, and we'll be back to top decking any minute now. Though Matthias does have the ill-timed explosion if Caleb does build up another board. So,
I mean, the cool thing with ill time though is he can kind of control how much though, right? Like it's good and it's bad.
and you could also just cast it as a divination, right? It has a buyout
Yeah,
clause
just
of.
draw too.
It has a. I'm surprised he doesn't collect evidence here. I almost always just love to go look at my opponent's deck.
I'm not sure if he wants the evidence for something
Right. So
else.
draw for the turn is ill-timed explosion the third. Ooh. Oh. Okay. He's got a case of the locked hothouse now, which can definitely run away with games.
Hothouse, I heard, is pretty hot this league.
Yeah, it's been a big player for me. It was a big player in a feature match with Oompa Loompa a couple weeks back. I heard it was a big player in an hour plus long match between Oompa Loompa and Spaghetti Mitch this this past week, where it got doppelganged. All right, well, this is what this card does. Just here comes a rookie. Here comes my boy, as I like to call him, that locks it on eavesdropper. Analyze the pollen here on top, so um, not presently castable. And now incinerator of the guilty is on top here. So
Is
do
that
we
the
have?
dragon?
Yeah, that's the
Uh,
dragon that just wipes your opponent's board. So Caleb's gonna need something real fast here.
Still just lands. It's Backstreet Back, and on top is a homicide investigator,
Yeah,
which probably
that's
is not
yeah,
what he's looking for.
it's not gonna do it. It's definitely not gonna do it here.
I mean, Hot House definitely like looks real good in a game where 3 board wipes were played, right?
All right, so analyze the pollen. Let's see what he decides to go get here. It might be his Itali Primal Conqueror that I've heard so much about dominating games this league.
Hey, I mean, it'd be in a really good spot here, right?
I mean, was there ever any doubt? And he's got a World Souls Rage on top, so now he doesn't want to play the Itali.
Like, wow.
He's gonna
Oh, but
crack
the
his flute and then play it.
I
All
guess with
right.
the Hot House, it's kind of nice because you can kind of see what Itali's going to get.
Yeah, he's gonna get a 5/5 Crocodile for absolute free here, as well as something from Caleb's deck. Okay, sure. Why not?
Yeah,
Why not? 18 power.
this is the best rookie I've seen in quite some time.
I don't think it's a rookie anymore. I think it's a veteran now.
Caleb writes in doppelgang time.
I guess he does have it. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Wow, okay. He could do it for x equals what, 3?
Sadly, it's not a doppelgang; it's a
He could do
forest.
it for no, not 4. You know, he could do it for 4 even. But no.
I mean, he did
I,
have quite the amount of lands that game.
yeah, 14 mana I believe lets you do it for 4. Yeah, because it starts at 5 mana and then it goes up by 3 mana every time.
I trust you've done the math.
It's 5, 8, 11, 14. I guess I've never the highest I've ever seen was 3. So
So interesting enough, Caleb's deck for the most part is really just Sultai. I'm sorry, Simic, flashing just a few black cards. Long Goodbye, the Homicide, Aether Agent, and the Board Wipe. Well, I guess
okay,
Lazav and Atrata
it's a Sultai deck.
and Unseal and Kaya.
It's a
Now a
Sultai deck
Sultai
with
deck.
with a white card with a white card.
Yeah, I almost didn't see like half his black cards. I looked again and I was like, wait, it's just dark in my basement. Those are okay, this is Sultai.
Yeah, we are 3 colors also across the board here. 4 galvanized at the bottom of the curve is a big deal. As is the 3 copies of ill-timed exposure, but just all these rares there. Like wow,
Wow.
didn't even have to show the mythic dragon there. He said, I'll show my dinosaur instead. It's more flashy."
Oh, the Incinerator.
Yeah, he had that in hand there.
Interesting enough, I'm surprised Caleb's not playing the explosive mutation. Maybe he just felt it was too slow, or
Oh,
it's
the
not hitting you.
repulsive mutation, right?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. I haven't seen it that much in League. In Draft, it's a blowout. I assume it's still got to be good in Sealed League. It's that was a card that I underestimated at first. I read it and it doesn't read as powerful as it plays. Like you read it and you're like, you need a creature and they need to be casting a spell. You need to have enough mana, but really, it just works. Card just
Really,
works.
worst case scenario, it's a skill and combat trick, right?
Yeah, I don't think I've ever done that though. I mean,
I mean, like it's like a
only
more
if only if
typical, like
only if it were for lethal, right?
yeah. So I
I
think right
would I
now,
wouldn't just do it to win
uh,
combat. I want all the blowouts with that card.
I don't know. I might use the win a combat depending on what I'm beating.
But Caleb doesn't seem to believe that his deck can make use of it. So I'll say I trust Caleb's judgment. Right? He knows his deck inside out. We're just looking at it as spectators.
Listen, man, if there's anyone to bring this back, it's Caleb.
Oh yeah. Okay, we got probably a better hand than last time here for
Saying there's just 4 lands and
five.
then a 2 drop and a 3 drop, so it's looking better than last time.
Yeah, so we got 4 lands here, a variety of colors. He's got 2 islands and a thoroughfare. He's got the Exit Specialist, the Case of the Hothouse, Topiary Panther, and the Incinerator of the Guilty, and a Bite
Oh,
Down on Crime. And here's an Etherblade Agent. Nice little include here from Mom. Solid little creature.
yeah, just get so much work done, right? Especially after it's flipped.
Yep. All right, so we got a face down here,
I
which
don't
is
know.
the Exit Specialist. Next turn, he does have the option of doing Bite Down and Topiary if he wants, like Topiary Panther, and then biting down something if he chooses.
I mean, Caleb flips the agent, maybe. Well, if he's not going to flip it,
Matthias might be thinking, I could just block this agent.
Yeah, I'm curious what the idea here was because he only has a Temple and Ancient for turn, and then two lands and Escape Tunnel.
Huh. I mean, there's no risk. Okay, he's doing it post combat, which is
Yeah,
I mean,
uh,
if your opponent is like has mana open, like sure, but if your
yeah, you don't
opponent's
want to get blown
tapped
out.
out, just go for it. And he got a little
Yeah.
bit punished there because now he can bite down on crime.
Well, this is now interesting. So he drew Bite Down on Crime for turn. I'm not sure if he really cares to bite down the 2/2.
Does he have the means to bite down the 2/2
Uh,
through ward?
I mean, you can always cycle the Ancient, right, and get the
Yeah,
discount on it.
yeah. I will just say one annoying thing about bite down on crime is it always shows as 2 mana when it's in your hand, even when you don't have the evidence.
I've learned it does this a lot. So I think when I was playing WoW, there's Frenzy and there's another card that have discounts, but it would also do similarly the same thing. I guess it's just a glitch right now in Arena.
Yeah, weird. Anyway,
Got to deal with it.
yeah. I mean,
It's
arena's just full of weird stuff this week. There's been a couple of weird bugs I've seen, but that's another story.
what's the strangest, sir?
Well, there was a match today where a player was unable to sideboard, but the other player was
Huh? I've never
between
heard of that one.
games. Yeah. All right.
Oh
Well,
no!
here's the
Oh
creeper,
no!
but here's the bounce.
Yeah, I don't know if I like that play.
Uh,
He had a scholar in hand he could have used to kind of like sculpt the hand a little better.
well, that's 9 mana. That's 9 mana that Caleb will
Yeah,
never see again. And now we got a big advantage here. So Matthias is deciding if he wants to play. Okay, looks like he's going to do Nervous Gardener here. Okay, so he wants his hothouse now. But it's funny because he knows his opponent has a creeper, so if Caleb decides to, he can blow it up over 2 turns.
interesting. So what can Caleb do? Ooh, he drew intrude on the mind. The question is, does he want a creeper and then scholar?
Let's see. Yeah, so
This
Matthias
is gonna.
still has the Incinerator in hand, Topiary Panther, Projector Inspector, and he has a Surveillance Monitor on top of the deck. So lots of
Oh
goodies here.
no! Oh no! Well, that's the only interaction this hand has. Gone.
Well, why didn't he discard 2?
I mean, he drew a Gittering Surveyor and he still has Forest in hand. That's got to be
Okay.
better to get rid of than the Bite Down, but maybe he
Yeah,
has something in mind.
I mean, he's playing for Doppelgang, maybe. Saying, let me have all my mana sources. Yeah, Matthias is happy to trade off both of these creatures, which already got tons of value. And
He
he's
kind
going
of,
to say, here, solve this problem.
oof,
Here's the
this
next
feels
problem.
rough.
I mean, 6 mana, I mean, 6 power, 6 life.
Yeah, I mean, Caleb's in a rough spot here. I mean, I don't think there was a way for him to kill the Incinerator even if he kept Bite Down on Crime in the hand without like a block.
He
But I
could
mean, if
play
he
Intrude
flipped,
on the Mind, right?
that's really it. But I mean, like, the Incinerator still has Trample.
Yeah, I mean, he won't be dead, is what I'm saying.
No.
But Matthias has a World Souls Rage on top, so it's not looking too good either. Because he can World
Well,
Souls for 5. Okay,
yeah,
that is a
which is going to be
blocker,
exactly lethal. That'll be exactly lethal.
but I think he just has World Souls
It's
for
lethal.
6.
Yeah.
He just has World Souls for 6 anyway, so he's gonna show him everything he can do, and then he's gonna kill him anyway. Wow. I guess we look at the top of the standings. What's Matthias up to? 19-5. Well, now we know what he's up to. Just consistent deck full of very strong cards here. So you know, not often that Caleb takes an L in the feature match, but this was a very powerful display. So congratulations to Matthias, who's must be locked now at 20 wins. He's got to be making his first top 8. So congratulations to him for that as well. And we'll see everybody back for our second match in a little bit.